Hello everybody! In this video I'm going to share with you tips how to make the best out of DEKKER, the support hero in the game Predecessor. Now I already made a full guide about her, but this video is just for things for new players to focus on to make the best out of having her as a support hero. So we're going to touch very important points that you should definitely know when you're playing DEKKER in Predecessor. Let's begin. The first thing is zone control and containment. DEKKER really excels when it comes to controlling enemy movement and also positioning. Both her secondary, the containment fence, and the alternative, the status bombs, are great for actually preventing enemies from escaping, blocking enemy engages, and peel for your carry. And the least you can achieve is actually exhausting their dash so the jungle can actually pick them up pretty quickly. Another very important role is vision and warding. The danger you are facing is of course jungle or mid coming into your lane, and because your utility allows you to escape quite easily, you are very safe in kind of peeking into the jungle, and just in case you face somebody you can easily get out of it. Just make sure to keep your dash, don't exhaust it for nothing. If you can survive, don't use it. And also ward strategic objectives. In terms of positioning, make sure you're not too close to the jungle wall so you won't get surprised. Again, this allows you to, just in case somebody gets in, to react in time, target you first, because you are the one who actually can save both of your lives, both you and the ADC, by just stunning, caging, and basically just jumping out. You're basically the back eyes of your ADC. They counter you to actually, say if something is wrong, do proper warding, and quickly ping if you spot somebody so the ADC can get out of danger. Another very important thing, of course, is to make sure to pay attention to other players who are coming into the lane, and because you have more kind of free time to look around, pay attention to this, even ping if necessary or communicate with the team if you're using voice. Because if your teammates come, whether the mid or the jungle, you're able to start planning an attack ahead and just maybe cage or stun, basically support those who are trying to attack in the lane. Now this is something crucial. You have the ability to disrupt jungle ults when using the status bomb. This is why you should always in a team fight pay attention to the ults, because again, one good ult can actually change the tide of the battle. But the same I can say to cancelling an ult. If an enemy can't actually execute a good ult, you can actually turn things around in your team's favor. Now, DEKKER also has a great ability to actually clear minions very fast using the Photon Disruptor. And this is an opportunity, for example, where enemies may be died and some time after they respawn, you want to quickly push lane. You can even use your ult sometimes in certain situations if you just want to speed things up much further. Of course, don't take hits from the ADC, but the thing is that there are many situations where maybe ADC died, for example, or you're just trying to push another lane and try to split enemies so they won't focus on a single lane. There are many situations in the game where you can do so, and you can do it very well using DEKKER. Now, if you find situations where enemies already exhausted the dash, you can actually use, and also good in team fights, the containment fans plus your ultimate. It actually synergizes very well with each other because you contain the enemies and you put this big radius of hit onto enemies, and those in the center are actually getting stunned. But keep in mind that when you start, the containment fans will only deploy for 2.4 seconds, but as you go up until level 5, it will be for 3 seconds. Still give you enough time to combo, can be very useful. I use it many times in order to deal damage and also stun enemies. Now, you might maybe skip this information, so I'm mentioning it here. Basically, status bomb, aside from dealing damage, you can also increase the duration of the stun when you actually hit enemies from further away. So it starts from 0.75 seconds and can go up to 1.2 seconds if you're again with a maximum units distance of 3500. This means that if enemies run away and you're a bit far from them, it's worth actually trying to get a shot. If you get it, it's going to be a nice stun. Allow of course your teammates to actually get them pretty quickly. Now, many use the containment fence to trap enemies, but one of the great advantages of the fence, you can actually block enemies from escaping, or in other situations getting in. And there are many situations, for example, where I'm taking objectives, I actually just block the place and prevent enemies from getting in. Like in Fangtooth, I prevent the path there for enemies to come in, and basically I give more time for my teammates to eliminate Fangtooth without any interruption. Now, there are many situations where you're going to stick a lot with the ADC, as you should, but there are many situations where rotating can be very, very beneficial. Sometimes, for example, maybe the support will go to another lane and just going to leave you, for example, 2 versus 1 in the mid lane. And not just that, Dekker has great utility to actually surprise other lane by, again, using containment, forcing dash, or just stunning them and allow the mid, of course, to attack. But make sure, of course, to notify if you're actually preparing to rotate, so others can actually know that you are coming and prepare. Also, Dekker is one of the best retainment in the game, basically the ability to prevent enemies from escaping. And you can do it with a combo. For example, you can start with the Photon Disruptor. Basically this damage, but also slowing enemies who get hit by 25% for 1 second. Then you can use the Status Bomb. Again, this basically stun enemies in place between 0.75 and 1.2 seconds, depends on the distance. Then on top of it, you can finish it with a Containment Fence that give you 2.4 seconds at level 1 and 2-3 seconds once in level 5. And the good thing is you don't need to be too close, like melee range, when you're actually facing opponents in order to combo that. Of course, the ones that can be very deadly as well, but many of them need to be very close in melee range in order to execute them. And by the way, alternatively, you can start with a Status Bomb and then use the Photon Disruptor, but again, it will overlap and you won't actually benefit from slowing enemies down. But again, it's up to you, depending on the situation, which one you want to use. Now, when playing Dekker, one of her very unique utility is the ability to just, propel herself upward using the rocket boots. Now, it's further reduced 3 seconds by 3 seconds each time you use an ability. And the most important thing when playing Dekker is just get familiar with the map and know the location where you can jump above in order, for example, to escape if somebody running after you. You are squishy and sometimes you go a bit deep, for example, to ward or detect other wards. Or if you're getting chased, knowing those places will allow you to basically disengage very quickly without others. For example, here on the wall you can actually jump off inside into the Fangtooth area. This wasn't because of that, but you can do so and basically avoid others for catching up to you. If you are inside as well and you're helping with Fangtooth and team comes, you want to get out, you can do this as well. Even in a dual inside where the gold buff is, you can actually get down, and if somebody rushes you, you can just jump up. And basically being familiar with those places allows you to survive longer and of course do better in general in the game. Another important thing is, it took me some time to just adjust my head to that because I kind of was putting things pretty quickly and just going to my business. But basically you need to ward based on where actually enemies are invading, enemies, opponents. Because sometimes they're going to take different route because they know, some people all the time put a certain ward in a certain place and can just go around it. And this is why putting or placing wards deep in the enemy jungle, for example, at strategic points like entrance or buff camps, for example, this allows you to spot enemies rotation early and counter gank effectively. For example, it's pretty easy to know if the jungle, for example, coming from the mid, because you have some view of what the mid actually seeing all the tower. But if the jungle is coming from the path here, for example, on my left, to the right here, and I didn't put in the right position, I wouldn't know that actually coming. But if I put it deep inside, I will know ahead of time when the jungle is coming. I can communicate with my teammates and just get ready to punish the jungle if it comes in. Also consider, again, this is very situational, body blocking minions and also preventing enemies from attacking your ADC as well. This way you can protect the tower, the ADC, but you're not Richter, so keep this in mind. So try to do it well and not over risking yourself. Now another thing is synergizing with ultimate. Also carry, but not just carry. For example, if you see Gideon, if you communicate with Gideon, it plans to actually execute his ult, you can just put the containment fence, for example, preventing enemies from actually trying to get out. Same goes again to other heroes, but again, especially when you are carry, especially at the beginning, we're spending a lot of time with the carry. So make sure to try to synergize with the ults of other players in your team. Again, if you have voice communication, that's the best. That's why, when you have voice communication in general in mobile games, you can perform way better. And if not, make sure to, again, pay attention. You can see me just, containment, fence, jumping, and basically avoiding getting hit. And that is for this video. I hope any of these tips you find useful. And If you did, make sure to leave a like, and also if you have other tips for other deckers, let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, everybody. Also consider subscribing to my channel. From time to time I'm going to make videos of Predecessor. I love the game, playing a lot. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.